This is the response we've been waiting on. Paul Ryan now talking about the speech from yesterday and the proposals from the White House, going head-to-head with his own from a week ago. Ryan was incensed yesterday after sitting there at George Washington University in the front row, and he let everybody know about it.
He felt hoodwinked because he'd been invited by the president, and he said, we thought the president was going to be extending an olive branch, and we basically got a tongue lashing.
And Ryan said that was an indication to him that there was progress, and after the speech he said there was no progress. So just drop in here real quick. Hear how he is today.
Delegate yet again to other people to make the tough decisions of our time, which is the most predictable economic crisis, this debt crisis. He wants to delegate that to other people, and this new commission has even more modest benchmarks than the last commission he created. And so, to me, it just makes it harder to close the gap than easier.
What are the prospects for a grand bargain?
Well, this sort of definitely damages them. I think when you go after your political adversaries with the kind of demagogic terms and comparisons that the president did, that makes it harder. I forgot whose quote this was, maybe it was Churchill, but he was basically a pyromaniac in a field of straw men. I mean, to set up all these straw man arguments and then to tear them down, it's almost as if he wanted to paint his political adversaries, supposedly us, in a cartoonish kind of a way, in a caricature, as if we want to hurt people's grandparents. We're against families who have children with autism and disabilities, and we don't want kids to go to college. I mean, that's basically what I got out of the president's speech yesterday, is that's what we believe. How do you have a serious debate about this? This coming from the president who came to our Republican retreat about a year and a half ago and said what we were hoping to hear. We've got to do entitlement reform. We House Republicans have put out some credible, serious ideas, and we can't demagogue each other. We can't go after each other. And look, I'm saying both parties do this, but when the president came and said, we can't treat the other party as if they're hurting seniors and hurting people and using this demagoguery, that's what he told us when he came to talk to us in 2010 in Baltimore. What we got yesterday was the opposite of what he said is necessary to fix this problem. And so I think what we got yesterday was a re-election campaign speech. I guess it sort of tipped it off to me this last weekend when we heard he was floating a speech, not a plan necessarily, but a speech, and he sent his campaign manager out to discuss it, not his budget director, not his treasury secretary, not his chief counsel economic advisors, but he sent his campaign manager out to announce this. We've asked, we have a good relationship with OMB, our budget staff. A lot of them came from OMB. We talk to them on pretty much nearly a daily basis, and we called OMB yesterday to find out, okay, what are these new numbers? What is this plan? Show us the benchmarks, the data, the points. And they basically referred us to the president's budget and the press secretary's office.
So there is no new budget?
So there is, this was really a speech, not a plan as far as I can tell. So speeches aren't plans. Speeches isn't action, it's speeches.
Now, the president said there was nothing serious about a budget that would cut.
So Paul Ryan has not changed his tune from yesterday, clearly. And there was a comment from yesterday. He's obviously taking great offense to what the president said, with the comments about we don't want anyone to go to college, etc. But the comment about the voucher program to take care of the Medicare issue, where you would ship out money to the states and let them decide on the cash. If that